In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do title text in Adobe Premiere. So there's two ways you can do text on this. You can press Ctrl T when you've clicked into your project region, and that'll give you a layer. Or, if I undo that, you can go up to File, New, and go to Legacy Text, which will bring up the text as well. Now this little window will pop up. You can name your text file whatever it is. This will just appear down here in your project to tell you what it is. So I'm just going to name that Sparky Ink Text. And this isn't what will show up on your text when it appears on screen. This is just the name of it in this section, so you can easily find it. All of this should be all your project settings that you've already got. So now we've got this box. As you can see, this is sort of like the work area. You can adjust it as you need to, but you shouldn't need to. So all we have to do is you click and drag in this area, and then you can make some text. So I'm just gonna put some text in, and as you can see, we've got our text. So on here you'll see we've got a couple of different things. Here you can switch your font. This will just load any fonts that you've got on the computer. This is the font type. If there's a font that's got multiple font versions, you can select it from there. If your font is able to have a bold or italic version, you can do it here. It's blocked off for me with this text font, but we don't need it anyway. There's underline, so you can underline it. This is your font size. You can just either drag it left or right to change the size, or you can just click in and type a number like so. This is your kerning. If you pull this along to the left or right, you can see that the text will put spaces in between each letter, and you can use this to give it a more spaced out effect like so. You can again also click in that to adjust it. This one, the leading, is for if you've got multiple lines of text. You can change how much line space there is between the two text lines or your multiple text lines. And of course we've got our alignment here. You can do the left side, so the text comes from the left. Let me just put this back a little bit, so you can see. So this will align it to the left, this will align it into the center, and this will align it to the right. And you can also click this little icon here, which will remove the background video, so you can work on your text a little bit easier. So beyond this, you can access the legacy title properties here, or your title properties, whichever there is, whichever version of Premiere you're using. And if you've not got this window here, the way you can set it up is if you go to Windows, Workspace, and set it to all panels, it will bring up this additional area, which might not be here by default. So under legacy title properties, you'll see there's all of the things we mentioned before, like font size and leading and kerning. There's also stuff like tracking, which is a little bit different to kerning. It sort of tracks from the middle rather than putting spaces between letters. And there's various other things. You sort of can play around with them a little bit by dragging them or putting numbers into them. But the most common things people like to use on here are the strokes, which you can do. You go onto, if you want to outline, you go into outer strokes and press add. And on here, you've got like a new little box here where you can adjust your outline here. You can change its color if you want to, like so. Or you can, I'm going to leave it black. Or you can change the size of the outline. You can make it as wide as you want, as small as you want. But I'll just leave it like it was. You can change the different types as well. You can make it into a gradient if you want to on the outline. And you can also add stuff like sheen and texture if you want to, or change the opacity. And shadow is another one that people like to use. It is a fairly nice one. If I bring up the video again, you can see, you might be able to see better when I put the shadow on. We can change the size of the shadow, like so. And we can do the distance in the same way as we've done all the other values. And as you can see it moving away. And this can be changed with the angle. which you can do here. You've got a little wheel here to show you the angle the shadow will go in, or you can change it with the values on the number here. And that's it for that. A lot of this is just a lot of trial and error. You can play around with it. A lot of it's fairly simple when you've done it a little bit. Other things that you can do with the legacy text is you can go onto legacy title tools. This is useful for moving your text around. You can change things like the area type, like the area that you can type in. You can change the pathing of the typing, rotation. But if you want to be able to move your text, you have to use this tool here, the selection tool. And with this, you can move it around freely when you grab onto the text. Or if you click on your text and then hold down Shift, it sort of locks it a little bit into a little sort of centered way. And that's one of the best ways you can do your text movement. Now there is this section, the legacy title actions, with the alignments and centering, but it doesn't always allow you to do stuff. So if you can't see all these options, you may have to grab the bottom of this and drag it around a little bit. I had to reveal like the center options. The center, you can center it vertically and horizontally, and it'll keep it in the middle. Once you've finished doing all your text stuff, you can just grab your text file and drag it onto the video, and now that will be part of your video. Once it's on there, you can, of course, make it longer or shorter as you need to, or add transitions, but it will be part of your video, as you can see when I press play. And that's how you do some legacy text for your videos.